It's time for Focus. Today, can there be a normal life after being a child soldier? Between 2013 and 2015, as many as 10,000 child soldiers were enlisted into armed groups in Central African Republic. UNICEF and the charity Caritas have launched a joint project to try and reintegrate as many of them as possible, giving them training in real skills that they can use, like carpentry, tailoring and computer science. Now, as the first batch receives their diplomas and as the French peacekeeping mission in the country ends, our reporters have been to see how well prepared these young people are for their lives ahead.
And on the blackboard, where are we told that MPs work? At the National Assembly.
This could be an ordinary classroom in any Central African school, but this one plays host to a special program for former child soldiers. At its desks sit anonymous ex-fighters like Theodore, who's come to learn the highway code.
It's the zebra crossing. That is the zebra crossing. That is the road sign that announces danger. When you are driving a truck and you see that road sign, it indicates danger.
This classroom marks the beginning of a new life and the dream of becoming a truck driver, the job this teenager chose after being demobilized a few months ago by his armed group.
I'm here because I'm an ex-fighter since I was 17 till the end of that year. The profession is good. It can enable me to survive in life and find a job to do.
Getting jobs for these former child soldiers is the prime concern of Thierry, who leads this professional integration program. Work that could wipe away any temptation to take up arms once again.
The aim of the training is that at the end we should be able to reintegrate these children into society and into civilian life. Thus, towards the end of the training, these children will receive reintegration kits to start afresh and look for their daily bread. For example, those who chose tailoring should each be entitled to a sewing machine with tools and some cloths in order to start designing and start working.
These former fighters are now far from the weapons of their past, but living in a Central African capital still under tension. These burned-out vehicles are evidence of recent riots, a sudden outburst of violence which revives painful memories for Sonia. She enrolled in a Christian anti-Balaka militia after her family were killed in front of her by Muslim Seleka armed groups in the Damara region north of the capital, Bangui.
When I was in Damara, we were happy as a family with mom and dad. When the Selekas came, they killed both my parents, and that put me in a bad situation. So I joined the anti-Balaka. My role in the group was as a cook. It's because they killed my parents and I had nothing to eat. That's why I was forced to join the anti-Balaka group.
Sonia, now an orphan, was lucky to find a second family. A new home with an adopted father and mother who took her in when she was freed by her armed group and had nowhere to go.
My adoptive parents found me crying in church because when I was in Bangui, I knew no one there. I was crying and I thought, my God, what am I going to do? What will happen to me? I have no one. Who will give me food? Who will take care of me? And I started to cry like that. And that's when my adoptive parents came to me and they asked me some questions. And that's how it came to be that they took me in.
Abel and Martine didn't hesitate to take Sonia into their modest home. They're retired civil servants and aware how important it is that former child soldiers don't end up on the streets for humanity and security's sake.
Yes, because you know that by staying in areas where there are atrocities, children are always innocent. We also have children, so it's better to take them in. What happened to these children could also happen to our children. And as one of ours was killed in the fighting, we took in orphans from here. It's better to take them and educate them, because if we leave them, they risk being lost forever.
Ces enfants-là, si on les laisse comme ça, ils risquent de se perdre pour toujours.
In spite of her IT training, Sonia is still unemployed, just like hundreds of former child soldiers who've returned from the front lines. Thousands more are still in the hands of armed groups, in areas still subject to the law of militias and the terror of warlords.